Hello. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. How are you? Come in the building. I'm going to take a moment for people to get in. I know it's a lovely, lovely weekend day, and I'm sure you're resting. But come on in. We have things to discuss. I wondered if I should play some tunes for us. Welcome, welcome. Come on in. I have some things to share. I have some things to discuss. And I want your attention. I want your presence. I want your feedback, questions, comments. We're going to vibe for a little bit, okay? How are you? Welcome. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Come on in, come on in. This is going to be a real intimate meetup and conversation. So I want you to get comfortable. I want you to get your pen and pad. I want you to be in your peace. Hey sis, how you doing, lovely? I want you to be ready to share anything that's on your mind. We're gonna discuss a couple things. So I'm gonna get started. Okay. So many of you know by now kind of what's been going on. So you see it all over the news, you hear about it, everybody's discussing it. Many of you are having to be home right now. You're having to, wonder what's going on. I did a video a few days ago. I don't even remember what the title was, but I spoke about, some of the things that are happening and how it's all coming out, and there's going to be this big revealing and all of that. So this video is kind of tied to that, but it's a little different because I want to make sure that we're walking in our power, we're walking in authority. We stake our claim on our own lives, that we claim sovereignty within ourselves, and that we have full authority over every single thing that's going on with us as well as without. Okay? Understanding that you are the creator here and in this time and space, in this reality. All right, so for those of you who may have missed the video that I did a few days ago, so what's going on the planet, let me just give a little backstory for those who may have missed that, and just to, state my intention with this video. There's things going on in the news with the CO-19. It's this virus that's going on. There's this pandemic that's happening. There's all these multitudes of people who are getting sick. And there's also things that are going on behind the scenes, behind the curtains. And many of us have heard about it for years. Like I explained that, like in the 90s, I was preteen knowing about child sex trafficking rings and how much of our leadership in the mainstream media and the government, they're suspected to be involved in this. And these are real things. It's not even about suspicion at this point, or ever. It never was. It was just kind of like this secret that has been swept under the rug. You know what I mean? And so that has been going on. Selling and abusing children has been going on. Pedophilia. There's missing children by the thousands, by the millions all over the planet. There's Black men and Black women being murdered by police all over the country. Okay. There's poor healthcare everywhere. There's these patented diseases like AIDS and HIV and certain cancers and this, the virus that's going on the planet. These are not conspiracy theorist statements. This is literal fact. It's been a fact for so many years. Um, you know, like I was saying, I was like 12, 13, even younger for certain things when my knowledge of the reality in which we lived in was made known to me. And many of you resonate with this, right? We spoke about it in the last video. Like many of you kind of were like, well, things are kind of not adding up, so let me just kind of research it. Or you have these spiritual downloads from your ancestors and you just kind of know that something's going on and you're getting these intuitive knowings and all of that, right? So that was the case with me. So I knew about, hey Elizabeth, hey Jessie May, how are you? We have the sisters in the building. We have Yvonne, Elizabeth, Jessie May. We have D True Poetry. Hey sis, welcome, welcome. This is gonna be a good one, y'all. I don't know how you can record it while you're watching it. I don't know, but this is definitely something for you, for your family, for your legacy, for your entire bloodline. So I want us to tune in and just vibe with me. And if you have questions, comments, you already know the deal. Like this is the family. So just type, just write, give me feedback, what you're experiencing, you know? So we knew about certain things. Like we knew about the government's capability for UFOs, right? Like they have that spacecraft. Oh, thank you so much, sis. Yes, appreciate you. They had, extraterrestrial technology for so long. Hey, Lachelle, how you doing? Okay, they've been abusing and selling children. They've been participating in cannibalism. They've been murdering black men and black women. They've been corrupting our healthcare. Like this shit isn't new, right? Like we have Planned Parenthoods everywhere, pumping out diseases. These are facts that have been verified for a long time. Okay. I wrote a couple things down so I don't forget. Even with the COVID-19, the numbers don't add up. You have doctors, you have nurses, you have people with real intel coming online and they're saying, actually, this is not true. You have scientists coming online, like viruses don't even operate like that. When this whole thing came out, I'm like, look, I don't even think I got an A in biology or physics, although I really liked physics class and I like the sciences. I didn't get a good grade, and I understand how viruses work. They don't work how they're saying it that they work. The numbers don't add up. Okay, you have reports all over the place, and it's even reported on the media, right? Because they have to tell you what they're doing, and I'll get into that. But it's all over the media that people in charge saying, there's going to be these deaths, but we're going to say that they died from the virus. She's literally saying that. Like any death that takes place, no matter what you went into the hospital for, no matter what your complaint was, no matter what your symptom was, you're going to be now designated as the person who has the virus. And if you die, we're going to say that you died from the virus, but their wording is very strategic, right? You guys are paying attention. They're not saying they died from the virus. They're saying, oh, they died after getting tested for the virus, or they died with symptoms of the virus. They're not saying that that was the actual death. And you have doctors coming forward saying that they've been told to doctor the death certificates. Like it's all over the place. Like if you're missing this, okay, just pay attention. But if you're saying this is conspiracy theorists, baby, no, this is just critical thinkers. These are just people who have done their research and are like, nope. With me, like I said, many things that are out, I'm not even surprised because I knew about this stuff when I was 13, 14, 15, like a freshman in high school, just reading these books about people coming forward about the things that are going on and how most of our presidents have been puppets. They've been working for a bigger machine. Okay. It's not even, and I have to deal with I get angry sometimes. I get angry with us because I'm like, where are my critical thinkers? It's people who just, they turn on the TV and that's their only source of information. And it's like, baby, but we've been programmed in a society that wants us to think how they want so that they can exert that control. And yeah, it is population control going on. You have Billy G, who is a tech guy, who's a software guy, now coming out with medical policy and now deciding, oh yeah, you know what? While you all are home, how convenient. You're all home so we can take care of you, right? Because we really care about you and your well-being. We've proven it in the past, right? So we want you home nice and safe. And while you're at it, we're gonna put these chips in you because I'm a tech guy with no medical background or degree, and I really want you to survive and be safe. So this is what we're going to do for your health and for your family. This is what we're going to do. We're going to implement these vaccines that have been proven to murder thousands of people per year. We're going to give them to you and your children, and that's what it's going to be. And no, again, I don't have a medical background. Billy G does not have a medical background at all. And even if he did, the shit that he's talking about doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. It just takes a little stretch of intellect to understand what's going on here. Okay, so I really want to encourage us all to stop believing everything that you hear. Do not think that you being home right now is for your best interest. It is not. It is not. At one point, it was like, okay, well, let's see what's going on with this. Let's see. But you have scientists and doctors coming forward that this is not even a real virus. It's not. How is it? And then how is it biological warfare? Where are the millions of people that have died? Because if it's biological warfare and it's an airborne virus, where are all the mass graves? Like, where are all the freaking packed funeral homes? Where are and why aren't you wearing a mask? Anytime we see you and you turn on the news and you're giving a broadcast and you have your nice suit on with your cute tie, you don't have your mask on, and none of the people who are on stage with you have their masks on. So I don't understand. And I really need us to think about this. Think about this, okay? And so the numbers don't add up. And people are like, well, you know, this was prophesied. And okay, well, whose prophecy is this though? Like, whose prophecy is this? Because if you follow the Hopi Indians, if you follow these shamans, if you follow these ancient tribes, they speak of a prophecy where there will be a select few who are making decisions of life and death on the people. And then you follow another certain prophecy that says, this is what's going to happen because this and this and this. And that's the narrative that is playing out right now. Both of those prophecies. But you got to understand, like, so the movies don't have the prophecies. They're just giving you a script and you're the actor and you're feeding it and you're putting money into it. You're creating that reality. So to make it connect, right? So you have Billy G, he's coming online. He's like, listen, these many numbers of people are going to die. And that's what's going to happen. We're going to get these vaccines out. And when we get these vaccines out, listen to this. When we get these vaccines out, this many people are going to die. Okay? All right. That's his prophecy. That's what he's saying. And because all of us were just so complacent, we were like, oh, okay, yeah, we're really home because it's for our safety. We get it. So we allow this to be done to us. We allow it. We're allowing it. We're giving consent. We're feeding into it. We're creating that reality because he said it was so. And he has no medical background, but all of a sudden, you know, there's a freaking pandemic on the planet and you just conveniently have an available microchip. You conveniently have a virus right on time. Like, whoa, look at you. your powers of intuition. You're a master visionary, Billy. And this is the guy that is giving medical advice to our planet right now. Didn't you just step down from Microsoft though? Like, weren't you designing computer software? But you have a vaccine and you have a chip, and people are like, yeah, like, come on. And I get really angry. I get ashamed because this is, like I said, this is stuff I knew as a kid. And I get ashamed that I didn't speak up and say certain things. And I'm like, well, I don't know. I can't take responsibility for those who don't dig deeper. But I'm still, I share this with you all. This is my journey. This whole entire platform is me talking about my experiences because that's all I know. I'm still working on that, working with being like, okay, like, you didn't talk about certain things because of these various reasons, and I get it. I can, so I'm working on that. But I do want to share that. I want to be transparent, okay? Like I said, I wrote some things down because I don't want to go on a tangent, because I can. And I just want to be very clear. I want this to be a clear video, y'all. So I'm trying to be like cool right now, okay? So there's just so many things. So that's one of the main things that I have an issue with. That's one of the main things that's of what's going on, and how we're, for the most part, we're being complacent. And by that, I don't mean go out and do crazy anger-filled things. Like, no. What I'm saying is you have to say that this is not acceptable. Like, I did not agree to this. Like, nobody presented me with the facts and then showed me where I can sign and be like, okay, this is cool. That's never happened. However, it did happen by us not saying it out loud that, you know what, I see what you're doing. It's bullshit. I do not accept it. Okay. And what was I saying? So the people on the planet, we're all waking up. All of y'all are waking up. And it's amazing because everything works for the good. Everything is, all paths lead to the source. It's all coming back to the one consciousness, right? So it's like, okay, if this is all me, right? If we're one, if it's a one unity conscious, then I am light and I am dark. I am good. I am bad. So this is just another aspect of my own consciousness, what's going on with me. And we can see it on the micro and macro level, right? So if you're dealing with child assault and abuse and sexual abuse within a home, then all of that is on the macro level as well. You have that happening on a grand scale, okay? The micro and the macro. And that's what's going on with our consciousness, right? And how it's that same parallel. What's going on that is dark and evil and is bad and is disgusting, it's also another aspect of who we are. It's the same type of parallel. So we have to understand that. And I was watching this amazing video. Shout out to my sister Goddess who shared it with me, by this woman. And she was describing how you have to really state certain things. So she explained it in a three-step type of thing, how you become aware of what's going on in the planet. You see it and you have to know what they're doing. You can't just act like it's not happening. That cognitive dissonance bullshit has to be done. No, fuck that. We need to know. We need to stop labeling things as conspiracy theory, and we need to take control because we are shut in. Well, y'all are. People are like, oh yeah, we're quarantined. No, you're quarantined. I don't claim that shit over my life. Fuck that. No, all of my liberties are in full effect. What? I'm free as fuck. I don't agree to that, right? So watch what you're saying. So, but you have to know what they're doing. So I posted some links to some videos. I shared these before, and watch them as much as you can. You need to know. That's step one that she outlines, that you need to have this knowledge of what's happening. Okay. They do a good job of hiding things. Okay. So how to explain that is like I was saying before, like in the movies, people be like, oh my God, that was prophetic. Or in The Simpsons, you'll see how this happened like 10 years ago. There's this clip of, an airplane crashing and had a prominent basketball player. And then years later, it happened. So people are like, oh my God, these shows, these movies, they're prophetic. No, they're not. They just gave you a script and you were like, wow, that was a really great episode of The Simpsons. Oh my God. So they're like, oh, they're with the shit. Okay, well, let's make it happen in real life now. That's it. Because that's the rule of the planet, right? That's the rule when you're dealing with the dark, the dark side, the evil side that's ruling the governments and the planet, right? They have to tell you what they're doing. I knew this years ago. And part of me, I kind of like to think that certain things are common knowledge, but maybe that's my own misunderstanding. But I thought that shit was common knowledge. Like, yeah, they're just telling you what they're gonna do. And you not saying, actually, that's kind of fucked up, I'm not with it. You not saying that is full consent, that you're cool with it, right? So going back to this lady's genius 3-step plan, to actions to take, you know what they're doing, and you know the authority within you to say, actually, I do not consent. I don't agree. I'm not with the shit. Actually, I think you sexually abusing and torturing and murdering and eating children is pretty fucked up, and I do not allow that shit to go down at all. And this is what I'm saying is not a joke. It's not a metaphor. It's real life shit that's going on. And it's been going on for years, hundreds of years. Yeah. The people who run the banks, the news outlets, hospitals, all of those people, maybe not all of them, right? Maybe not all of them. But the few handful of people who are pulling the strings on this planet, they're with that shit. They're with the murder of millions, thousands, hundreds of people to promote one agenda. They're with the shit. And it's been documented since the beginning of time. It's just now people have all the time on their hand. And that's what I was saying. Everything goes to the greater good of the divine in the long run, because now we're home and we have all this time on our hands to really pay attention to the fact that all of this does not make sense. And we're waking up and we're going deeper and we're looking up these pedophile scandals, and we're looking up all of this, and we're looking up money laundering, and we're looking up political campaign rigging, and we're paying attention now, and we're getting angry. We're getting angry. But I want you to take your power back and be the divine being that you are and state your claim. Make the declaration of sovereignty. Okay, so that gets to step 2. That's why you saying I do not consent is so important. So sovereignty is just claiming ownership, rulership over your own being. Like, nah, like nobody rules over me. Like, I am my own divine. Like, I am my own God. This is my own reality. Nobody infringes on my rights. Nobody tells me what I can do with my life and my family, and my safety and my body. Because mind you, our rights as divine beings, as divine creators on this planet are being infringed upon. We're being forced to be tested. You can't even go to the hospital right now for a pinky toe ache without them saying we must test you for COVID-19. Since when? Since when? Since when do you get to tell me that I must be tested for something, that you must stick a needle in me? Since when? But people are not understanding that's been the MO since the beginning of time. This has been going on since forever. It's just been covered up by labels and different things, and oh no, this is a vaccine, so you don't get this. So I don't get what you already created. You created something, and then you created another vaccine so that just in case you. So either way, I get a needle in my arm of some shit that you created. Like, nah, yo, we're not doing that. So you must claim sovereignty. Just like I said, you not speaking up, you not saying no is you agreeing to the shit. So you have to understand, like, okay, well, no, if I'm sovereign, if I'm my own authority, if I'm my own power, I'm my own government, then I can actually say, I don't want this, and it be so. So mote it be. Ashe, 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 oh. That's it, because I said so, period. And it doesn't take a stretch of the imagination to see how that's been life the whole entire time, right? Because we know, like many of us who are in the spiritual community and you do ritual, you know real magic. You know how to manifest. It's nothing. You're like, oh yeah, I do that shit all the time. Yeah, exactly. Because you are sovereign. Because you have your own, you're divine. You are a divine being. You are an immortal being. You come from the one. You come from the primordial mother. You come from the sacred mother. So duh, you can manifest money in your bank account right now because that's who you are. So likewise, you can say, I do not consent to the bullshit that you're doing on this planet. I do not agree. And, she did make the claim. And when I heard it, I was like, wait, universal law, you can't say I do not, because that's a negative thing. And if you're putting it out there, then you're saying, I want this negative thing, but not when it comes to claiming sovereignty, right? So a few years ago, shout outs to this sister, this powerful melanated queen, this powerful Black woman, right? She taught me and further taught me about claiming sovereignty legally. Right? Everybody knows this. Certain groups do it, they claim sovereignty. They're not under the leadership of the US government or any government on paper. They're their own, right? So you can file a legal document that says that I'm sovereign. That's a real thing. Everybody knows that, right? So there's a way to do it with anything. Okay. So I claimed sovereignty years ago. Just on April 13th, there was the 13th gate, the portal gate. I claimed sovereignty then, just a verbal thing of me saying, I do not agree, and this is who I am. Like, this is what I want. I don't consent to any of that bullshit. So it doesn't go against universal law by you saying, I do not, because that's in a negative, right? You're stating a contract. This is your contract that you drew up just because you said so. You can write it down. You can record it like this. But I implore you all to do so. To claim your sovereignty out loud. To say, no, I am a divine being. I have a right by the divine creator, by the sacred mother, to be here and to say that I don't agree with what you're doing to me, my family, the people on this planet, or the planet itself, this entire universe. I am not with that shit. And that is your contract. And it's period. It's written in stone. It doesn't need a fucking notary republic. It doesn't need a lawyer. It doesn't need somebody to go over and be like, yeah, well, nah, take out line 3. Like, no. It is so because I said it is so. Period. So we must do that. We must state our objective. We must file our contract. Let it be heard. Share it to your platforms. And then step 3, that she highlighted and that I mentioned before is to have that love for the side of you that brings you the most disgust. Why? Because if we come from the one, if we are one consciousness, that is only an aspect of ourselves. And that's the part that's kind of like, oh, nah, fuck that. Like, like me, Keisha come out. And I talk about this little alter ego I have named Keisha. Keisha's like, oh, nah, fuck that. Like, I don't care. Like, we throwing hands. You're not going to say, like, that's her. That's not Tier. That's not who I am usually. But I'm not down with that shit. I'm not willing to accept that as another side of me. Hell nah. You heard what they do? The diabolical things that they do. And many of you are aware. Many of you are just now learning. And like I said, I've included links. Do your own research. Absolutely. That's always been my push. Do your own research. Don't ever believe anything that you hear. All right. So I put those as resources, watch them, and then do your own thing. Read your books. There's books that's been out since the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, highlighting every single thing that they have done. And it's time that we stop thinking that this is just a movie or these are just books. These are just books from people who smoked too much weed and opium and then they saw like a UFO and they just wrote a book. Like, nah. No. There's truth in every single thing. It's real. It's not just a movie. There's so many movies. Monsters, Inc. There's Dr. Sleep that just came out. There's Independence Day. There's The Matrix, written by, what's her name? Sophia Stewart, a Black woman. Like, oh my God, if you've never read or watched The Matrix, do it right now. Right now. Wait, don't log off yet. Watch the rest of this video. But afterwards, if you've never seen The Matrix, you must. That's a part of every awakened person's toolbox. Okay? Toolbox. It was written by the Oracle, the Black woman, the divine feminine herself, Sophia Stewart. Okay? She is the Oracle. That's why she wrote the book and the Terminator and all of these things. All right? So watch that. So they have to reveal what they're doing, and we have to become awakened to the fact that they're doing it. All right. So let me hop back into the steps, y'all. I didn't want this to be a long video. I don't want to go off on tangents because I could be here for hours talking to y'all about the shit. Okay. So seeing the plan, seeing what they're doing, understanding it. Okay. Saying I do not consent. I am not with the shit. I'm not. I refuse to agree. I will never agree. And then 3, understanding that you must have the love, because as a supreme being, as sovereign, as someone who's in alignment with the universe and the creator and the supreme mother, you must operate out of the love. You must operate out of the heart chakra. You must. And you must understand unity and one consciousness, that we're just consciousness playing out in physical vessels. And that those who do the darkest of deeds, they're also one aspect of you, of me, of us. So we have to be like, wow, like, I love you. I feel sorry for you that you decided to act out in this way, that you thought that this was the way to live. I do not consent. And it has to be like this cyclical thing. So when you're gaining this knowledge, so when you're understanding, you're not operating out of hate for them. That's their territory. They do that. They operate out of hate. Look at the atrocities that they have done on this planet. Okay, messing with the weather, messing with people's foods, messing with health and wellness, putting chemtrails in the sky so that we don't ascend, so that we physically and spiritually and intellectually cannot grow as an individual nor as a people. That's crimes against humanity. That's crimes against the laws of nature. That's against the divine mother. That's against the matriarchy. That's against nature. Okay? And the only way that is gonna stop is for people to see what it is to say, I do not consent out loud with your chest out. I do not consent. I do not allow that shit to go down on my planet at all, to my people. Not one other person is going to be hurt from this bullshit. And then you got to say, I send you love. And I hope that you find your way back to source, back to oneness, back to healing, back to balance, because it's you. It's a reflection of you. If you understand the laws of the universe and you understand consciousness and how it works, it's an aspect of who you are. So you got to keep that, you got to keep it going. Don't fall out of the love. Don't fall too far into hate or revenge, even certain types of anger. Like have divine anger when you be like, nah, I do not consent. No, I'm laying down my motherfucking gavel. I'm the judge and jury because I'm sovereign. I'm supreme. I know this is the end of this shit, period. And then go back into love. That's divine anger. That's how you stay in divine justice and you're not feeding that other end of the spectrum, okay? I hope I've made that clear. I hope I've explained it well because it's her construct. I think Magenta, I think her name is Magenta. She's on YouTube. So she talks about the 3-step plan and that she got it from the divine and the divine feminine and how it's laying down the structure on how we can make this shift because we're all moving to ascension. I've been saying it for years. Like many of you know, I have my brand, Ascension is the Motive. I have Look at All This Peace. And when I say ascension is the motive, I'm talking about conscious, diligent, aware, awakened ascension, not the ascension where you're being dragged and you're bloody and you're bleeding and you don't want to listen and you just want these walls up. You don't want nobody to tell you what's really going on. And now we're dragging you through ascension because we literally need you to be on board with us because we're one consciousness and we know the law of the land. We know that you have to state your sovereignty for this all to stop. You don't want that type of ascension when you picking out the glass out your arm because you didn't listen and you heard the call how many times. You heard it how many times and you just put the earmuffs on like I'm not talking about that type of ascension. That's why I say ascension is the motive. I mean the high vibrational, well, this is where we going and I want to be elevated. Shit, I want to fly. I want to tap into my superpowers. What you talking about? But I can't because you literally have a handful of people who are making it so that I cannot ascend. Bitch. Yeah, y'all. That's real. That's what's going on here. That's what's at stake. So all of these X-Men movies and those are real depictions of who we're supposed to be. In this time and space, that's where we're going as a people. And then you have 2, 3, 4, 5 people who are deciding, actually, no, that's not where you're going. Nah, son. I need all of y'all to state your sovereignty right now. I need all of you watching me to state your sovereignty right the fuck now. And stop playing. Because you not saying no is you agreeing to the shit. So you work for the other side by default. Don't be mad at me. I'm going to get a lot of heat for saying that. I don't give a fuck. Don't be mad at me. I'm not the one to be mad at. I'm the person. I'm the messenger. I'm the person sharing this with you. There's so many of me. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only Neo out here. Y'all Neos too. You need to act like it. All of y'all is the one. That's the whole point. That's the whole point of the movie and the book, The Matrix. We're all the one. It's consciousness. We're all Neo. We're all the Oracle. We're Neo. We're the Oracle. We're Morpheus. We're the fucking traitor. All at the same damn time. That's what she was trying to say. Study her. Shout out to Sophia Stewart. Like, I've been in love with her mind since I was a kid, since The Matrix ever came out. And then I found out that a Black woman wrote that, And then that was it. That was it. That's all I needed. Because I was like, yo, whoever wrote this movie is a real oracle, though, is a real visionary. Okay, and she is. So shout outs to her. Yvonne wrote The Matrix on Netflix. I'm gonna scroll up and get to what y'all saying. Okay, so again, that movie has real tools that needs to be in the awakened person's toolbox. Okay, you need to state your sovereignty. That's what you do. The people who are protesting, as long as it's non-violent protest, because we don't need that. That's the thing. Like, as sovereign, you don't protest, right? Not in that way. Not how people think. You don't protest. You just state the law. That's it. I do not agree. That's law. That's a law. Me saying that is a law. The universe heard it. My ancestors heard it. The archangels, the elementals, the fairies, the pixies, the all of these, everybody heard it, and it's law. But we just think that other people have authority over us. No, they don't. They need us to have this reality in which they live. Like, they need us. So I want to be clear, okay, how I feel about the word protest. Like, I don't protest. I declare, I state the law. But there are people who are protesting. I'm speaking of the non-violent ones who are just waving their flag saying that this is bullshit. I do not agree. They got the right idea. They get it. They understand. Okay? Because they're stating their sovereignty. They're saying, actually, we hired you. Well, we're supposed to hire those who rule us, right? But that has not ever, maybe I shouldn't say ever, but that's not the case. That's just not the case. Okay? They have the right idea because they're actively saying, no, I don't agree. All right? So I don't want to keep repeating myself. Even the people who are dragging Billy G on social media, like, if you check out his social media, I have not like scroll through his page. The comments that I'm seeing, from people, they're like, nah, I'm not with the shit. But there are reports, okay, that's not like a news anchor. There are reports of people dragging him. Like, what? Who the fuck are you? Like, you made computer software, now you're laying down medical law and legislator, Billy? Get the fuck out of here. People who are commenting like that, they're claiming sovereignty. But mind you, it has to stay in love frequency for it to be effective, for it to be an effective contract, an effective declaration of independence, of sovereignty, of rulership over my own being, as is my right, as the divine, as is my right. Okay? So I want to encourage you all to state your declaration. I want you all to claim your sovereignty. And I'm not playing. Like, do it. Like, dang, T, you can't tell me what to do. Yes, the fuck I can. I just claimed sovereignty. I just told you, I just gave you all my reasons. I just laid them all out for you. And for you to say, yes, actually, you know what? I want to be alive. I want to make sure my children actually have a safe place to live when I'm gone. You better do it. You better claim sovereignty. I don't know what else to tell you. If you don't, then you work for the other side and you need to get the fuck away from me. And I don't know what else to say, because that's where we're at. And like I said, I am the sacred mother. I am the divine feminine. I am the divine masculine. I am supreme. Yes, the fuck I am. And you are too. So state your shit. Rep your set. I don't care. Say it. Do it. Yeah, I have the authority to tell you to do it. Don't you? Don't you have the authority to tell people, actually, you know what? I want to make sure that we all live. So I need you to claim your sovereignty too. So I want y'all, however it is, it could be in your home. You could say it to your kids. You could say it to your dog. You could say it to the plants. I just need you to say it. All right? And you follow the steps. Follow the steps. Yes, go down the rabbit hole. Yes, do your studies. Yes, turn off the fucking news and read the books. Read the articles that are all around you. If you don't know what's going on all around you, you're being willfully ignorant. And I say that with so much love. I say that with so much respect. It's the truth. And you don't have to believe me. You don't have to believe anything. The truth doesn't require your belief. It just is, whether you agree or not. So you might as well just read up on it and watch a fucking video and read a few articles. Just do it. Okay? So understand what's going on in your reality. In every single aspect that you object to, you say it out loud. So when you hear about the atrocities going on in the medical industries, like, nah, I don't consent to that. When you hear about the sex trafficking rings, nah, that's fucked up. I'm not with that shit. When you hear about the political election tampering, like, nah, that's not cool. That goes against our rights. I'm not with that. When you hear about them fucking with the food supply and putting synthetic fibers and doing all sorts of hybrid shit to the food, you say, no, I'm not with the shit. Everything, all right? And then step 3, say, you know what? I send that situation love. I send those people love. It's unfortunate that they feel that they have to live that way, but I do not consent to that. I understand that as one consciousness, as unity consciousness, this is just a different aspect of me, just in a different spectrum. And I love all aspects of who I am as a divine creator. So I send that love, and I hope that it finds its way back to the oneness, the love, the oneness of love consciousness in this universe, on this planet. Okay? Because our whole ascension as a planet depends on it. Our whole legacy depends on it. Many of you have children. You stating your sovereignty directly affects your children and their 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 children. So let us all stop being cowards. We've been cowards. I have been a coward. Hi, my name is Tierra Charday. I have been a coward. I have been complacent. I forgot that I was the supreme. I forgot that I actually can make and create and implement laws when I do not agree. And I'm taking that power right now. I forgive myself for being ignorant to all of this before, and I'm stating my sovereignty right now. I need you all to do it, okay? Those of you who don't mind being in front of the camera, make a video. It doesn't have to be an hour long. It could be 2 minutes long. Share it all over your platforms. I mean, flood the block. Flood it. Flood it. I don't care if every day at 1:30 p.m. Eastern, you share the same damn video. Do it. More people need to understand what's going on and have links and resources. A lot of people are lazy as fuck. A lot of people be like, oh, okay, what's he talking about? Oh, wow, yeah, okay. Share a couple resources. Just make it easy for people. Like, that's it. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to say why I'm right. I'm not going to say why this is wrong. I'm just going to give you the resources, the links here. Here's my video. Here's my declaration of sovereignty. Or here's one that I saw that I resonate with, and I'm sharing it with you, and I want you to share it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. We share bullshit memes all day. We share the dumbest shit all day. Let's share something that makes sure that we actually have a planet to live on. Let's share something that can help us pull in a reality where we're all just levitating and we're spiritual beings and we're tapped into our magic and we can heal with our hands and we can, just grow food for our communities. And you know what? Our great grandchildren don't have to worry about being sold into a fucking sex traffic ring. Listen, It's time for us to stop being cowards, yo. It's time for us to stand up. So that's what this video is about. I'm done. I'm done. I just really needed to get it out. I was so inspired by this lady's video. Again, shout out to my sister Goddess for sharing it with me. Share knowledge with the people. Share it. Don't be like, oh, they're going to call me crazy or they're going to think I'm a conspiracy theorist. Nah, fuck that. We need to wake people up. Our entire future depends on the shit. Nah, that's done. Being embarrassed about sharing stuff or saying that's done. How many times within our own families have we swept stuff under the rug? How many times have we not talked about the abuse or the incest or the robbery or the assault or the murder? Like, nah, we're not gonna talk about that. Nah, let's just like pass the turkey, like pass the gravy. Like, nah, we're not gonna. We don't talk about that here. Nah, we let our abusers just kiki at the barbecue. Nah, we don't. But we shun the one who was abused and sexually assaulted. We shun her. We shun him when this happened to them out of their control. And they were 8, yeah, but we condemn them for having emotions during this. We condemn them. But meanwhile, the abuser, oh yeah, like we shouldn't say anything. We don't want him to feel bad. Bitch, listen, we do that shit on a micro level, and we've been doing it on a macro level when we consent and we don't speak up. When people in government, people in places of leadership are doing the same fucking thing. And we sweep it up for them. Like, oh no, like he's on the road and his political campaign and he was away from his wife and it's okay. He messed with an underage girl. Like, she's still a good man. Like, nah, fuck that. No, I do not consent. Period. All right. So I need y'all to look, say the shit with your chest out. And I'm not playing. So I want to say, hello, everyone. I am Tierra Charday. I am the divine feminine. I am the divine masculine. I am balanced within my being. I am sovereign. I am supreme. I am an immortal, divine, sacred being. I come from the sacred mother, and I do not consent to any of the abuses or atrocities going on in this planet. I do not consent to any of the abuse going on this planet. Man, woman, child, animal, nature, I do not consent. And I send love and I send acceptance to those who have done the abuses and atrocities on the planet, because I understand that as a divine sovereign being, they are one aspect of me on one end of the spectrum. And I send that love. And I need them to know I do not consent. And I hope one day they can come back to the oneness that is love. I am sovereign. This is law. Period. Ashe, ashe, asheo, so mote it be. And it's done. It's done. All right. So I'm going to scroll up and see what y'all are saying. Let me see. Yep, population control. I have been trying to share much of this same info for years. Yes, Elizabeth. Yes, and many of us have been shut down from, saying things. And with my own story, I was, guilted and scared into keeping quiet about many different things. And I was a coward, and I will not be any longer, because I realize what's at stake. So I'm taking responsibility as a sovereign being that I am, and moving forward like that. But yeah, like, man, okay. None of this was past. None of this shit will pass. Nothing is working in their favor. Mother Earth is waking these folks up. Yes, Jessie Bang. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You can consider, view it as we all won. Like the divine, the love consciousness has already won. It's just timeline. Our ascension trajectory has been tampered with. A word that I heard that was perfect is hijacked. It's been hijacked. So we've been delayed in our ascension as a people, as a planet. And it's like, no, actually, Now what's required is for us to say it out loud. All of us, millions of us have to do this, okay? But yeah, Jessie May, you're right. Trust your divine within you. Don't fear. Meditate on thoughts and concur. Yes, God, man. Cleanse the process. We feel you. It's a journey. The grand we is aware, and we will be in control. Great information, my reflection. Thank you, God, man. That's beautiful. Ashe, Yvonne says Ashe, and The Matrix is on Netflix. Oh, okay, The Matrix is on Netflix, y'all. So watch The Matrix. The Matrix and the Terminator was written by the beautiful Black Oracle, Sophia Stewart. Okay. So if you don't know about her, look into her. She's a divine queen who wrote the books, and it was stolen from her. Hollywood stole it from her and claimed it as their own. And she had to go through all sorts of legal battles just to get the rights to her own shit. And this is the people who run our society, y'all. Come on, they traitors. They're traitors. They're terrorists. Period. Is that not the definition? Like, what are you doing? Okay. Yeah. Yes. And D says one of my favorite movies. Yeah, I love The Matrix. I'm sharing everything through my poetry. Yes. Yes. You better write, sis. Ashe, Yvonne. Yes. So I need you to do this again. These are the 3 steps to ascension, and all paths lead to source. All paths. My face is hot. That's why I'm doing this. All paths lead to source. So they have us in our homes, and be careful who we're calling our enemy right now, because we have right now a leader in charge who just may be on our side. Okay, winkety wink, wink, wink. All right. We have someone in government who is very well trying not to let the diabolical people go and get away with what they've been doing. So he has been rescuing a lot of the women and children who were in danger on this planet. And he's the only leader to date who has been able to do that. So let's be very clear on the energy that we project to that man right now. Okay. I just want to say that, right? So, and then I lost my train of thought, because that in itself is a big deal. And at some point we have to talk about that. We do. Because that's a whole, that's like a whole video to get into. So that's why I lost my train of thought, because I'm like, oh, that's a lot to break down. But things are going to get better. However, in the meantime, there's certain things that have to be done. And this is one of them, y'all. This is one of the things that must be done. Okay? Like, there's no, I don't like, and that is why there's this thing of, fear porn and news porn, because they need us to believe the narrative that they are projecting. They need us to subscribe to their script. And if we don't, then that does not become a reality. But if we agree and we pay attention and we agree through not stating our objective, then that is our reality. So when Billy G says, oh yeah, I expect hundreds of thousands of people to die when I push this vaccine, because he ain't nothing but a pimp on the block. He ain't nothing but a block dealer. Am I wrong? If I'm wrong, please tell me I'm wrong. He's peddling drugs. He's peddling death. And he's saying, I predict with my gifts, hundreds of thousands of deaths. And we're like, okay, cool. Because we didn't say no. Like, so understand how serious this is. Please get it. And we're nothing but sitting ducks in our house. We're nothing but sitting ducks at home because we're saying, oh yeah, okay, I agree. And no, don't trip. I'll accept the check. I'll accept the check, and the check very well may have been highly beneficial to people, but I don't want people to get it twisted and think that that's okay and that should be the norm. And they only said a few more weeks, so I'm gonna just trust in them because they've proven themselves trustworthy as hell that everything is gonna be cool and it's only gonna be a few more weeks. No, it's not. You're just giving them time to come out with the next thing. You just giving Billy G time to come with his big ass boxes of vaccines. Nah, you need a state sovereignty today and do it bold, do it big and bright. I don't care if you need pink strobe lights in your videos. I don't give a fuck if you show up in your Sunday best and you got your suit on and you come in front of the camera and you state your sovereignty. I don't give a damn. I don't care if you do it on a headstand. I don't care if you do it in a bowl. We about to be on some Dr. Seuss shit. I don't care if you're sitting on top of your table covered in body paint. You state your sovereignty live and in full effect and share it all over your social media, all over. I don't give a fuck. People will want to block you by how many times they saw the video or the poem of you stating your sovereignty. I want it to be like that. Okay? So do it. Our future depends on it. I've been yelling at y'all all day. I'ma stop. I'ma chill. I'm going to take all this passion and all this fire and all this divine, sacred, primordial energy, and I'm going to pour it into myself. I'm going to pour it into Mother Earth and the cosmos, and I'm going to pour it into this Embodying the Goddess program curriculum. I'm going to pour all this passion and this drive for divine justice and law and love and peace and harmony, the way this planet's supposed to be. I'm going to pour that into every single thing I do. And if I have a moment of fear or shame or guilt or whatever, I'm going to sit through that emotion. I'm going to acknowledge it like, damn, I'm afraid right now. Like, oh shit. Like, wow, look at that. These are the reasons I'm afraid. However, oh yeah, I'm a supreme being. Oh, shit, I was tripping. Woo, they call me tripping. All right, yeah, I state my sovereignty again and again and again and again and again and again until you don't have to state it no more because it just already is and it's a thing and you never ever gonna doubt it. All right, so that's how you transmute that energy. That's how you transmute that fear. You just acknowledge it. Like, all right, wow, when they said this created fear within me. Damn. Okay. Whew. All right, let me take a few deep breaths because where's the facts? Where's the receipts? Where's the paperwork? All right, well, I want to speak to 20 people that can corroborate that story. I want to see the death certificates. I want to see I want to see the person who said that this was going on. I want to see the person who's behind that person, though. I want to talk to them. I want to see what they got to say about it. Oh, wow. My research led me to find that they're shooting the same narrative on like 15 different news stations. Wow. Okay. All right. And that's how you get out of fear. You just study to see if it's fact. You just experience the emotion, you acknowledge it, you give it its time in the sun, like, okay, I'm gonna be afraid for about 35 seconds before I get myself together because I'm a sovereign being. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. But if you're always in fear state, then you're not thinking and you're able to be controlled so much easier when you're afraid, when you're dealing with the lower chakra imbalances of fear and I don't know, my security is being threatened and they're telling me this and the people who are in charge of my well-being, they're acting this way. That's low vibrational, lower chakra shit. So you need to just acknowledge that emotion and then get the time to get up. Get up in your chakras. Get up into your third eye and your crown. Get the messages from the divine. Like, see past the illusion. You got to give yourself time for that. Okay? So those are my tools. Those are my tips and tricks. That's how I get back into balance. Okay? Like, I'm only human. Like, listen, well, I'm a lot more than that. However, there's emotions that are going to come about, and we just have to give that space and acknowledge it and then move through. Okay. I don't want to keep repeating myself. I think that's all I wanted to say with y'all. My most important part was that claiming sovereign thing. If y'all got to rewind this to hear what I said, you could say the same thing. You can write it your own special way. You can add stuff. You can list all the things that you don't object to, whatever it is, but you need to do it. Okay. So I love y'all. Jack Queen says, this has been so enlightening. Oh, bless this. I'm so happy that you got something out of it. Y'all give this video a thumbs up. Share it. If you don't want to publicly state your sovereignty, if you just want to do it in your bathroom while you're taking a shower, you do that shit. It's still valid. It's still law. It's still law. I don't give a fuck if you state it while you're clipping your toenails. It's still law. Period. So you can do that on your own. If you want to share this video to your platform, share it. If you find other videos online, because they are circling online and they will be circling online. If you want to share another video, share it. Get it out. Get it out. Okay. So that is all. I love you all so very much. You are a reflection of me, good, bad, light, and dark. I want us all to come into one consciousness, into that love consciousness. Love is the language of the divine. Love is the language of ascension. You have to be in love energy, love frequency. All right. And I love y'all. I want you to have a fabulous weekend. Peace and love. Mwah. Love you too, D. Peace and love, y'all.